Although J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings book lays out the storyline for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, the show's titular character might not be who I initially believed. As a lifelong fan, I am well versed in Tolkien lore, so I don't doubt my comprehension of the book. However, I'm wondering now if the show adheres to a slightly different logic. Whether it makes sense or not, Season 2 of The Rings of Power has a fascinating allusion to its lord, offering a delightful nod to Tolkien's writing. Easter eggs and Tolkien allusions abound in the show, many of which touch on this main theme. It was revealed in the Rings of Power Season 1 finale that Halbrand, the original character, was actually Sauron. Now that he has taken control of forging more rings with Celebrimbor, we can see Sauron in all his hideous glory. As a prequel series to The Lord of the Rings, the show will succeed more because of Sauron and Celebrimbor's forging of more Rings of Power in Season 2. It is inevitable that this tale of Sauron's ascent will feature the rings and their lords, laying the groundwork for the tale of Frodo's encounter with Mount Doom and his attempt to destroy the One Ring. On the other hand, it appears that the series will question our ideas about the identity of the Lord as it tells this story. In a shocking turn of events that explained to me why his Anatar form was so similar to his Halbrand form, Sauron revealed his identity to Celebrimbor in The Rings of Power Season 2. Instead of attempting to trick Celebrimbor, Sauron wanted to show him off his shape-shifting prowess. As part of his attempt to persuade Celebrimbor to forge additional rings, Sauron concluded by assuring Celebrimbor that he would become the Lord of the Rings. This sentence raises the possibility that Celebrimbor will play the Lord of the Rings in the production, and that we will get to see his adventures. We know that the Lord of the Rings in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings book was Sauron, despite the intriguing nature of the Celebrimbor tease. Gandalf described the ringwraiths to Frodo when he was in Rivendell recovering from his wound. The Black Riders are the ringwraiths, the 9 servants of the Lord of the Rings. Because he created the One Ring and gave all rings an innate allegiance to it and to him, Sauron was the master of all the other rings of power. The One Ring was in Sauron's service even when it was in the possession of someone else. It was constantly seeking to return to its master and corrupting those who carried it. Consequently, despite having played a significant role in their creation, Celebrimbor is not and will never be a Lord of the Rings of Power. It's possible that the show is portraying Celebrimbor as the Second Age Lord of the Rings and Sauron as the Third Age Lord, causing even more destruction in a later era. However, I think that Sauron's statements are actually being used by the show to highlight his depravity and cunning. In The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Celebrimbor is falling for Sauron's hook, line, and sinker. But we are privy to the ironic secret of the real Lord of the Rings.